Hey guys! I realize that this is an awkward time for a live. Unfortunately, it had to be right now, and I can't film anything because my camera took a nosedive and just doesn't want to do. So, this is the best way for me to post a video right now. I do have a new camera order though. I wanted to post a super mega huge update for me. It's a slight explanation as to why I may not be quiet around as much as I wanted to for the next few weeks. But a lot of you know that in the past and currently, I've been a youth pastor. I have been working with kids for years. The current group that I'm working with is a group of kids that are experiencing what's called church hurt. Church hurt is when a church makes decisions that essentially separates part of the church from them. Now, what happened in this situation is that the youth leader was dismissed, and rather than continuing the programs that were rapidly growing, let me say this, the youth leader that was dismissed because of a differentiation in policy. Okay, they didn't believe in some of the same policies. So these kids, basically, the program just ended, and they had nowhere to go. And the church hurt comes in where these people who were, for years and years said they were there to support the kids. But as soon as something happened and none of them kept going to church, no one reached out to them, no one called them, no one sent them a Facebook message, like no one tried to communicate with parents about what's going on. So I got involved with these kids. Last year we met for breakfast once a week at Jack's. We did that for a year, went pretty good, and we kept doing like outside stuff. Like we would go other places and we would go do events. And so this year we started meeting after school at one of our family's homes. And that worked out fine. And then Sunday comes around. So the mom calls me and she's like, hey, just FYI, we have flu in the house. So I think you guys either need to cancel this week or find somewhere else to meet. I have found from experience that if you start canceling events, you start losing kids. Because even if they're the only one there, they love consistency. So I didn't want to cancel. I put out a call to my Facebook friends. I keep my personal Facebook very small. And so I was like, does anyone in town know where we could get a classroom for an hour one day this week? And about, well, I guess this was yesterday. So a few days later, I get a call from another mom in our group who's a very good friend of mine. And she said, hey, so can you meet me here? And she gave me an address. Now, I didn't really think a lot about it. Weirder things have been requested for me. So I went, and then she tells me that not only are we being provided a building to meet in this week, the man who owns the building, who happens to be a local Hindu businessman, is not only going to provide us the building, he's going to continue to pay the utilities and provide Wi-Fi for our group absolutely for free. Because he believes in the values and morals that we are teaching these kids. This is something I didn't know that we would ever have because I am not affiliated with a church. I get very teary-eyed over this, but this isn't a group that has ever been denominationally affiliated with anyone. We meet and I basically help the kids, but the kids run it. The kids have a vote on everything that happens, and the kids have a say-so. And when it comes to the finances, there is a junior in high school who's a treasurer who's in charge of it. And when they want to go to an event, they have to figure out all of the details. And we focus not only on helping them to grow in their faith, but we focus on teaching them things that schools leave out. We just did a big thing where we talked about like sex trafficking and uncomfortable situations. So for me, this is a really amazing opportunity. But for this person who doesn't even share in the same like beliefs that we do, to come forward and say, here you go, here's a building, keep doing what you're doing. I'm so amazed. I'm so excited. There is a little bit of work that has to be done because it was used as a storage facility before. So we're going to be cleaning it out, painting, putting youth-friendly things in there, setting up a place to have a service. And so that is going to eat up some time in the coming weeks. I will at some point show you guys this facility. I am so excited, and I can foresee so many things changing in these kids' lives. Yesterday, I told them, and when I called some of our older students, some of them came over and saw it, and then I called some of our older students who weren't there to let them know what we had. And I had one girl who just broke down in tears. Most of these kids come from broken homes. They come from homes that have drugs in them, or maybe they don't have the best influences in them. And to see these kids break down and cry because they have a place that they can really call theirs again is very emotional for me. They loved when they went to the church because they had a facility that was called the youth house, and they spent all of their free time there. And so they're excited and thinking of ways they can use this facility not only for Bible studies and services, but how can they use it to help the community, such as one of the first thing that pops off in one of my seniors' mind was, well, why don't we open up the homework? There's like an office. So why don't we open that up for doing some tutoring? You know, we have senior students that need community service hours. If we have elementary or middle school kids that need tutoring, we can help them. Like, we can be there for them. In this area where it's at, it's close to the school, but there's nothing else for kids to do. So this potentially brings out a great opportunity for us to provide something to engage kids, something to get them, keep them from going to big towns where there's a lot of negative things happening right now. We live really close to where the Anaya Blanchard case happened, so that scares me. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update. I know some of you guys follow my personal life. I talk about it some. And I'm just bubbling over with excitement about what this means for this group of amazing, bright, smart, intelligent kids. I'm just astounded at the generosity and the love that this person is giving us, because they don't have to, you know. And I would probably be less shocked if it was a Christian business owner that had come to us and said, here, use this building. But it's not. To have someone of a different faith come forward and say, I like what you're doing, I can appreciate what you're doing, take what I have and use it, it's heart opening. I don't know how else to explain it. That's all for me today, guys. I am going to get off of here. I have to get to work for the day. But I hope that you all have a wonderful day. And remember 3 things. Number 1, your life is worth changing it, okay, for the better. Number 2, your life is worth the effort that it takes to change your life. And number 3, remember that you are loved. Bye, guys.